Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government is committed to welfare of farmers, releases 18,000 crore rupees to 9 crore farmers under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. More than 54 lakh paddy farmers benefited from procurement during current Kharif marketing season. Centre gear-ups for rollout of COVID-19 vaccination across the country. Nation pays homage to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his birth anniversary and Good Governance Day. In cricket, Boxing Day test between India and Australia to begin at Melbourne tomorrow, and Christmas being celebrated across the globe. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today released the 7th installment of the financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, PM Kisan, today through video conferencing. With the push of a button, the Prime Minister enabled the transfer of more than 18,000 crore rupees to over 9 crore beneficiary farmer families. The Prime Minister also had a conversation with farmers from 6 different states during the event. The farmers shared their experiences about PM Kisan and also on various other initiatives taken by the government for the welfare of farmers. The farmers said they have received due payments under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, which have helped them enhance their produce. One of the farmers said under PM Kisan Yojana and crop diversification scheme, he is able to sell his produce outside the APMC mandis and earn a lot more for his family. In his address, Mr. Modi said today 18,000 crore rupees have been deposited directly in the bank accounts of more than 9 crore farmer families of the country at one click. He said ever since this scheme started, more than 1,10,000 crore rupees have reached the accounts of farmers.
जिन कृषि सुधारों को देश ने जमीन पर उतारा है, उनके सूत्रधार भी एक प्रकार से अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी भी थे। अटल जी गरीबों के हित में, किसान के हित में बनने वाली सभी योजनाओं में होने वाले भ्रष्टाचार को राष्ट्रीय रोग मानते थे। दिल्ली से जिस गरीब के लिए रुपया निकलता है, वो उसके बैंक खाते में सीधा पहुंचता है।
The Prime Minister stressed that the NDA government is committed to welfare of farmers. He said the government is making life easier for farmers in villages, but those making big speeches today did nothing for farmers when they were in power. Mr. Modi said he is pained that more than 70 lakh farmers of West Bengal have not been able to get the benefit of PM Kisan. He said more than 23 lakh farmers of West Bengal have applied online to take advantage of the scheme, but the state government has stopped the verification process.
प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान योजना के पैसे किसानों को मिले, इसके लिए क्यों आंदोलन नहीं किए? क्यों आपने कभी आवाज नहीं उठाई? और आप वहां से उठ करके पंजाब पहुंच गए, तब सवाल उठता है। और पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार भी देखिए, अपने राज्य में इतना बड़ा किसानों को लाभ, 70 लाख किसानों को इतना धन मिले, हजारों करोड़ रुपया मिले, वो देने में उनको राजनीति आड़े आती है। लेकिन वही पंजाब जाकर के जो लोग के साथ वो बंगाल में लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, यहां आकर के उनसे गुपचुप करते हैं। क्या देश की जनता इस खेल को नहीं जानती है? क्या देश की जनता को इस खेल का पता नहीं है? जो आज विपक्ष में हैं, उनकी इस पर जुबान क्यों बंद हो गई है? क्यों चुप है?
Mr. Modi said some parties are pushing their political agenda by opposing new farm laws, and some people are spreading myths, lies and rumors that land will be taken away if farmers enter into contract farming.
The Prime Minister stressed that the NDA government has been working with an aim to reduce the input cost of the farmers of the country, and schemes like the soil health card, neem coating of urea, solar pumps were started. He said for a better crop insurance cover to farmers, the government launched PM Fasal Bima Yojana, and crores of farmers are getting the benefit of it. Mr. Modi said the NDA government has tried to ensure that the country's farmer gets a fair price for his crop. He said the government fixed 1.5 times the production cost as MSP for the farmers as per the recommendations of the long-standing Swaminathan Committee report. He added that the number of crops for which MSP is available were also increased. The Prime Minister said the government has added more than 1,000 agricultural mandis of the country online. He said today a campaign is going on to create more than 10,000 farmers, producer organizations, FPOs in the country, and financial assistance is being given to them. The Prime Minister said now the time has come for Brand India to establish itself in the agricultural markets of the world with equal prestige. Mr. Modi said through the agricultural reforms the government has given better options to the farmers.
जब से ये योजना शुरू हुई है तब से 1,10,000 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा किसानों के खाते में पहुंच चुके हैं और यही तो गुड गवर्नेंस है। 18,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा रुपये पल भर में, कुछ ही पल में सीधे किसानों के बैंक खातों में जमा हो गए। कोई कमीशन नहीं, कोई कट नहीं, कोई हेरा फेरी नहीं। टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करते हुए पीएम किसान सम्मान योजना में ये सुनिश्चित किया गया है कि लीकेज न हो। राज्य सरकारों के माध्यम से किसानों का ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन होने के बाद, उनके आधार नंबर और बैंक खातों का वेरिफिकेशन होने के बाद इस व्यवस्था का निर्माण हुआ है।
Speaking on the occasion, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the amount released today will greatly benefit the farmers.
1 लाख करोड़ का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड का विषय हो, चाहे फूड प्रोसेसिंग के लिए फंड्स के प्रावधान का विषय हो और चाहे नए कानूनों के माध्यम से किसानों को स्वतंत्र करने का मामला हो और किसानों के जीवन स्तर में बदलाव लाने का मामला हो, हर क्षेत्र में सफलतापूर्वक कदम उठाए हुए हैं। सारा देश इन कदमों का स्वागत कर रहा है कि पंजाब सहित थोड़े से कुछ किसान भाई और बहन हैं जिनके मन में कहीं न कहीं नए कानूनों के मामले में भ्रम पैदा हुआ है। मैं उनको आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि वो इस आंदोलन को त्याग कर, सरकार ने वार्ता का निमंत्रण दिया है, वार्ता पर आए और मुझे आशा है कि किसान इस बात को समझेंगे, नए कानून के मर्म को समझेंगे, नए कानून के महत्व को समझेंगे और हम समाधान की ओर अग्रसर होंगे।
Under the PM Kisan scheme, a financial benefit of 6,000 rupees per year is provided to small and marginal farmers payable in 3 equal 4 monthly installments of 2,000 rupees each. The fund is transferred directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries. Several union ministers participated in Kisan Sammelans organized in different parts of the country. Addressing a gathering at Mehrauli in Delhi today, Home Minister Amit Shah said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put 95,000 crore rupees directly in the bank accounts of 10 crore farmers within 2.5 years.
10 साल तक कांग्रेस की सरकार रही, यूपीए की सरकार रही। 10 साल में उन्होंने 60,000 करोड़ का ऋण माफ किया था। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने 2.5 साल के अंदर ही 10 करोड़ किसानों को 95,000 करोड़ रुपया सीधा इसके बैंक अकाउंट में डाले और आज वो 95,000 करोड़ के बाद और 18,000 करोड़ रुपया किसानों के बैंक अकाउंट में जाएगा। बीच में कोई बिचौलिया नहीं होगा। क्लिक करते ही किसान भाइयों आपके अकाउंट में वो पैसा पहुंच जाए।
Mr. Shah said in 2013-14, when the UPA was in power, the budget of farmers was 21,900 crore rupees and Prime Minister Modi increased it to 1,34,399 crore rupees. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addressed a meeting in Dwarka in the national capital. He assured that the Modi government will never do anything which is not in the interest of the farmers. Mr. Singh said Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants talks with farmers to continue and therefore the government has extended an invitation to them.
आजाद भारत में किसी ने किसानों के और गरीबों के कल्याण के लिए इतने प्रभावी कदम नहीं उठाए। आज हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी इस सच्चाई को समझते हैं कि जब भारत के ऊपर कोई आर्थिक संकट आएगा तो उस आर्थिक संकट से भारत को उबारने में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका यदि किसी की हो सकती है तो हिंदुस्तान के किसानों की हो सकती है। किसानों के कल्याण के लिए ही भारत की संसद ने हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में 3 बिल पास किया है। लेकिन आज कुछ लोगों के द्वारा यह गलतफहमी पैदा की जा रही है। ये तीनों एक्ट किसान विरोधी एक्ट हैं। एक भी प्राविधान उसमें ऐसा नहीं है जो किसानों के हितों का विरोधी प्राविधान हो, यह बात दावे के साथ मैं कह सकता हूं।
In the national capital, Health Minister Nirmala Sitharaman addressed Kisan Sammelan in Kamlanagar and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri in Janakpuri. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Zavadekar has said that NDA government is committed to the welfare of farmers. Addressing a press conference in Chennai today, he asserted that minimum support price MSP and the mandi system will continue to stay.
We have made very clear that MSP will stay, APMCs will stay, but at the same time farmers must have a right. They were demanding for 40 years that we must have the freedom to sell anybody who gives more price. So it should be the right of the farmers. That is what we are giving.
In Madhya Pradesh, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi was transferred to bank accounts of 78 lakh farmers today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's virtual address to farmers was heard in all blocks and panchayats of the state. Prime Minister Modi also interacted with progressive farmers of Dhar district. A report from our Bhopal correspondent.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi interacted with Manoj Patidar, a progressive farmer of Dhar district. Shri Patidar said that he is getting better price outside mandis. He informed that the new farm laws have proven beneficial for farmers and now they can sell crops anywhere they want. He informed that he has sold his soybean produce to ITC and received better price. Shri Patidar said that like him, other farmers are also taking benefit of the agriculture reform laws. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan attended the event from Babai in Hoshangabad district. He said the training sessions will be organized in all the development blocks of the state to remove misconceptions regarding the farm laws. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said that the apprehensions over the new farm laws being spread through misinformation are baseless. He said today's address and interaction of the Prime Minister with the farmers across the country has revealed that the farmers are availing the benefits of the new farm laws. A report from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
Joining the Prime Minister's address and interaction with farmers through video conference from Jagatsinghpur district in Odisha, the Union Minister said that many farmers are now reaping the benefits of better price realization of their produce while still availing the benefits of minimum support price. He said that the Modi government has been strengthening the hands of the Annadatas of the country since the last 6 years. On the occasion, Mr. Pradhan unveiled a statue of Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee at Jaffa in Jagatsinghpur district on his 96th birth anniversary, being celebrated as Good Governance Day. The minister said that the former Prime Minister laid the foundation of a resurgent and self-reliant India. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Government has said that 54,78,000 paddy farmers have been benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 84,178 crore rupees. Agriculture Ministry said over 445 lakh tons of paddy have been procured from Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Bihar. It said the government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government is committed to the welfare of farmers, releases 18,000 crore rupees to 9 crore farmers under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. More than 54 lakh paddy farmers benefited from procurement during the current Kharif marketing season. Centre gears up for the rollout of COVID-19 vaccination across the country. Nation pays homage to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his birth anniversary and the Good Governance Day. In cricket, Boxing Day test between India and Australia to begin at Melbourne tomorrow, and Christmas being celebrated across the globe. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The central government is gearing up for the rollout of COVID-19 vaccination program across the country. As the vaccine administrators will play an important role in the vaccination process, training of trainers and those who shall administer the vaccine has been taken up across various states. Here is a desk report.
To strengthen the capacity of the human resource for COVID-19 vaccine introduction and rollout, detailed training modules have been developed for different categories of vaccine handlers and administrators. The training includes organization of vaccination sessions, use of COVID IT platform for management of the entire vaccination process, deployment of HR cold chain preparedness, and management of adverse events. 2,360 participants were trained during national level training of trainers to facilitate redressal of queries on COVID-19 vaccination and CoWIN portal related queries. National 1075 and State 104 helpline capacity has also been strengthened. As a step to prep up for administration of COVID-19 vaccine and to assess the readiness of the planned activities, a dry run has been planned in Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Gujarat, Punjab, considering the geographical locations. Aarti Rana, News Desk.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that the government has made extensive efforts in the past few months for identifying priority groups for immunization and ensuring quick and equitable distribution of the vaccine as soon as it is available. He said the government has prioritized 30 crore people for COVID vaccine. It includes health workers, frontline workers and the sanitation staff.
Our priority is going to be the health workers first, private as well as the public sector, followed by the frontline workers like the police and other sanitation people and all who work at the front level. And then, of course, our next priority is people who are above 50 years of age.
With a continuous decline in the number of active COVID-19 cases, India has crossed yet another significant milestone as the active caseload in the country today further decreased to 2.78%. The active cases in the country witnessed a decline of nearly 2,000 cases in the last 24 hours to stand at around 2,81,000. The number of new daily cases remained below 25,000, with nearly 23,000 cases being reported in the last 24 hours. The national recovery rate has also further improved to 95.77%, with recovery of over 97,17,000 people so far. With the recovery of over 24,500 people in the last 24 hours, the number of daily recoveries continues to outnumber the new daily cases. The total recovered cases in the country today stands at over 34 times the number of active cases. Enhanced countrywide medical infrastructure, implementation of the centre's standard treatment protocol by the states and union territories, and total dedication and commitment of doctors, paramedics and frontline workers have led to a persistent increase in the number of total recoveries and also a dip in the fatality rate, which stands at 1.45%. The Health Ministry informed that 336 case fatalities were reported in the past 24 hours.
In the backdrop of a global health crisis caused by COVID-19 pandemic, Ayush Ministry has taken several measures to improve immunity and recovery rate of people who were infected with COVID-19. The ministry issued an advisory about self-care guidelines and preventive health measures for immunity. It also took various initiatives to integrate the modern and traditional systems to facilitate a meaningful cross-learning and collaboration between the two systems. The ministry made efforts to deal with the coronavirus with the help of traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda and yoga, along with modern medical practices. The ministry launched a 3-month campaign on Ayush for immunity. Under Ayushman Bharat scheme, Ayush Health and Wellness Centers AHWCs are being established with the help of state and UT governments. Over 12,000 centers are to be operationalized by 2024. In an exclusive interview with AIR News, the Secretary of Ministry of Ayush, Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, said that the inclusion of the Ayush Health and Wellness Centers component of Ayushman Bharat in National Ayush Mission has set a benchmark.
The Ayush system has been given this task to establish a benchmark. Whether can we provide benchmark activity of public health where entry-level healthcare is totally governed by Ayush. There are component of yoga, component of Ayush thing into the different packages. So it is being implemented at very large scale. It is in alignment with National Health Policy 2017, where it is mentioned that Ayush healthcare delivery should be mainstreamed and it should be brought into public health delivery system.
President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid floral tributes to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee at Sadaiv Atal Memorial in New Delhi on the occasion of his birth anniversary today. Union Minister Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nirmala Sitharaman, Piyush Goyal, Hardeep Singh Puri, Dr. Harshvardhan and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, among others, also paid floral tributes to the former Prime Minister. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid floral tributes to former Prime Minister Bharat Ratna awardee Atal Bihari Vajpayee and freedom fighter and educationist Bharat Ratna awardee Madan Mohan Malviya in the Central Hall of Parliament. On the occasion of the 96th birth anniversary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Mr. Modi released a book titled Atal Bihari Vajpayee in Parliament, a commemorative volume highlighting the life and works of the former Prime Minister. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, Leader of Opposition in Rajya Sabha Ghulam Nabi Azad and several members of Parliament were present on the occasion. Let's revisit the poetic side of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in his own voice.
टूटे हुए सपने की सुने कौन सिसकी, अंतर को चीर गथा पलकों पर ठिठकी, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ.
Good Governance Day was celebrated today on the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. 25th December is celebrated as Good Governance Day every year to create awareness of accountability in government among the citizens of India. On the occasion, Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri today launched e-Sampada, a new web portal and mobile app. The new application provides a single window for all the services, including allotment for over 1 lakh government residential accommodations, office space allotment to government organizations in 45 office complexes in 28 cities, and booking of 1,176 holiday home rooms. The portal provides online facility to users across India to lodge complaints, submit documents, and appear for virtual hearing. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Puri said this is a significant step towards promotion of e-governance to enhance transparency and accountability in providing various e-state services like allotment, retention, regularization and no dues certificate. In another function, Home Secretary and Secretary of DOPT A.K. Bhalla released the progress report of EHRMS, Electronic Human Resource Management System. EHRMS was launched by Minister for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions Dr. Jitendra Singh on 25th December 2017, and it had 25 applications of 5 modules of the system. Releasing the e-brochure, Mr. Bhalla said it will become a good and effective tool for all the ministries in times to come. He said application of artificial intelligence tools will greatly help in policy making and in handling matters related to personnel.
The New Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year-Ender. The reform in cities has been one of the top agendas of the NDA government. Smart Cities mission was launched in 2015 to promote sustainable and inclusive cities that provide core infrastructure and give a decent quality of life to its citizens, a clean and sustainable environment, and application of smart solutions. 100 smart cities are proposed to be developed. At the launch of the Smart City mission in June 2015, the Prime Minister outlined how, for the first time, the government has used the challenge mode for selection of smart cities. In this method, the onus of categorizing a city into a smart city lies largely with the people and the local bodies.
पहली बार हिंदुस्तान में चैलेंज रूट के आधार पर स्मार्ट सिटी बनाने का निर्णय किया है. दुनिया के कई देशों ने ये प्रयोग किया, कुछ पैरामीटर तय किए और जो शहर इस पैरामीटर को पूर्ति करेगा वो एंट्री पाएगा स्पर्धा में. फिर उसकी दूसरी एग्जाम देनी पड़ेगी, उसको पार करेगा तो सिलेक्ट होगा. जब सिलेक्ट होगा तो फिर भारत सरकार, राज्य सरकार मिल करके उस शहर की ताकत में साथ जोड़ करके उसको स्मार्ट सिटी बनाने की दिशा में आगे बढ़े.
COVID-19 has affected almost the entire world, causing widespread disruptions in economies and healthcare services. India is no exception. But the mission to develop 100 smart cities in India has been an upturn in the post-lockdown months as the fund's utilization has almost doubled. Our correspondent takes a look at the progress of smart cities missions.
Out of the proposed 100 smart cities, in 53 cities, integrated command and control centers are functional, and it is helping in a huge way to control crime against women. World Economic Forum has rightly appreciated the government's smart city mission, saying Indian smart cities offer a model for pandemic recovery. The forum said Indian government leveraged this smart cities mission to enable cities to effectively leverage technology in improving citizen services and overall quality of life. The magnitude of the COVID-19 crisis presented many challenges for cities to overcome, including a lack of available staff, technical knowledge to repurpose existing smart solutions, and capacity building and training for those manning COVID-19 war rooms. Technology adoption across smart cities in India target to provide better service delivery to citizens and improving the quality of life. Cities clearly demonstrated that technology and data-driven decision-making are critical for ensuring effective citizen outreach and service delivery. To institutionalize this transformation, government is now on a path to write institutional coordination mechanisms and data-driven service delivery. Infrastructure elements in smart city include adequate water supply, assured electricity supply, sanitation, including solid waste management, efficient urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing, especially for the poor, robust IT connectivity and digitalization. Most notably, security of citizens, particularly women, children and elderly, and health and education are the core areas of smart cities, and government is on a mission mode to improve their lives. Saubhagyakar, Air News, Delhi.
India's squad for the second test against Australia was announced today. Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja and Mohammad Siraj are playing in the 11 for the Boxing Day test starting from tomorrow at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. India will take on the Aussies in the absence of regular skipper Virat Kohli. Ajinkya Rahane-led team will have two debutants, Shubman Gill and Mohammad Siraj in the team. While Riddhiman Saha has been replaced by Rishabh Pant, all-rounder Ravindra Jadeja is also making a comeback to the test side. India had lost the opener of the four-match test series played at the Adelaide. Christmas is being celebrated across the globe today. Christians all over the world celebrate Christmas to mark the birth of Jesus Christ. On the occasion, people decorate their houses by putting a Christmas tree, illuminated paper star, holy wreaths and exchange gifts. However, Christmas celebrations are a low-key affair this year in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Goa ushered in the Christmas festivities with the eye-catching decorations, symbolic Christmas cribs and midnight masses in the churches. In Manipur, people are celebrating Christmas with strict COVID-19 SOP this year. The festive occasion of Christmas in Mumbai is being celebrated in simple and solemn way this year owing to COVID-19 restrictions. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted the people on the occasion.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will have moderate fog in the morning, while temperature will vary between 4 and 21 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 20 and 32 degrees Celsius. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. A temperature will hover between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness fog in the morning and mainly clear sky later. The city will observe minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Temperature will hover between -3 degrees and 9 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature will be 6 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 20 degrees. City will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Leh is expected to have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be -14 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 0 degree. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards evening or night. Temperature will vary between -3 degrees Celsius to 6 degrees. Muzaffarabad is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will move from 1 to 14 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 5 and 22 degrees Celsius. City will have mainly clear sky. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government is committed to welfare of farmers, releases 18,000 crore rupees to 9 crore farmers under PM Kisan Samman Nidhi. More than 54 lakh paddy farmers benefited from procurement during current Kharif marketing season. Centre gears up for rollout of COVID-19 vaccination across the country. Nation pays homage to former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his birth anniversary and Good Governance Day. In cricket, Boxing Day test between India and Australia to begin at Melbourne tomorrow, and Christmas being celebrated across the globe. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.